Okay, it's Sunday again, and we've got another game lined up. 2,500 points again. It's the Battle Line mission. We just felt like playing it today. So we've got Empire Vs Ogres. So I'm playing Empire, obviously, and Si's playing his Ogres and all. So I'm just going to run you through the Empire army. So first up, we've got Steam Tank. We have a Helblaster bodygun, 5 Archer detachment. 50 halberdiers with an Arch-Lector General and the BSB. Then we have a cannon, Celestial Hurricanum, another cannon, 30 great swords, 29 great swords with level 4 of life. Then we've got 11 Inner Circle Knights with lancers and Warrior Priest, and then 5 Pistoliers. Spells rolled up were Earthblood, Flesh to Stone, Regrowth, and Throne of Vines. So that's it for Empire, and I'll hand you over to Si, see what he got.
Okay, the Ogres, having been kicked out of the Chaos Wastelands by a rather angry Demon Prince, who's had enough of me eating through all of his armies, finally kicked me out and come down to the Empire to grab some noms. So in my army remains unchanged from last time. I still want to trial it out, see how it runs. So on my left I have Saber Tusk. Then I have 4 Mornfang with all the trimmings. 14 Guts. This contains my Slaughtermaster and my BSB. I have 8 Man-Eaters. They are standard Vanguard and Swift Stride special rules. I have an Iron Blaster. Then I have my Stonehorn, who is currently missing his rider. I can fix that. And then finally, out on my far right is another Saber Tusk. So yeah, Ollie gets +1 for his deployment. +1 to the roll to see who goes first, because he deployed first. So yeah, I got a 3, and Ollie goes first.
Oh my god!
So yeah, we will see you at the end of Empire Turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Empire Turn 1. The Steam Tank successfully generated 4 steam points, moved up 9 inches, saving the last one. These guys just moved out the way of the Helblaster. These guys stayed exactly where they were. These guys moved up a little bit, and the Pistoliers vanguarded and of course moved up just to get in range of the Saber Tusk. Then in the magic phase, rolled 11 dice, well, rolled 10 and got 1 from the Hurricanum, failed to channel, so I got 1 channel. And I managed to cast Throne of Vines on my wizard, and also cast Earthblood, but so I dispelled Flesh to Stone, which I attempted to cast on the Steam Tank to make it toughness 10. Thought that'd be quite useful, but he wasn't having none of that. And then I tried to cast the Hurricanum's ability, but so I dispelled that with these remaining like 10 dice, whatever I had left. So yeah, so that didn't go off. And then in the shooting phase, well, that was quite successful. Starting off with the Pistoliers, they managed to wound the Saber Tusk, so that was bad news. But then the good news, Steam Tank's cannon fired at the Mornfang, managed to kill 1 of them. And then this cannon misfired, firing at the Gut Horde. But this one fired at the Gut Horde, trying to shoot the line with the BSB down. The BSB made his lookout sir, but the cannon actually killed 4 ogres, like 1 at a time. So that was lovely. So over the moon with that. So that's whittled down the horde a little bit. So might be a bit more manageable now. We'll have to see. But yeah, so excellent shooting. No one blew up. So pretty happy. I think the Pistoliers are probably in trouble now though. I've seen those Saber Tusks eat Forsaken, so they're not going to worry about killing a couple of horsemen. So yeah, so we'll hand you over to Si for his turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Ogres Turn 1. Everyone marched up as far as they could go. I've got no time for being careful against this army, unfortunately. So yeah, I've got to get in there quick. The only charge was the Saber Tusk against the Pistoliers, which he held. Magic Phase was unfortunately a bit of a write-off for me. 3 of my spells were basically useless, and Troll Guts was the only one I could cast. And as Ollie had, well, essentially the same amount of Dispel dice as I could put Power dice, and as anyone who's watched enough of our battle reports knows, that spells turn 1 destruction, because I nearly always miscast and suck my dude into the void, wiping out most of the Gutstar. So yeah, I wasn't buying that. So I'd rather take it from the Empire than for myself. So yeah, with that I went on to shooting, and unfortunately this misfired, as it normally does. So I'm hoping that it will now get its misfire out of the way, as it has done in the last couple of games, and actually bloody do something. So yeah, not too bad. Although it is unfortunate that that's 1 misfire apiece, and he has 4 times as much artillery as me. So yeah, we shall see how that pans out. So yeah, that is the end. Oh, sorry, close combat. The kitty cat killed two guys, but he lost his last wound and succumbed. So yeah, now the Pistoliers are going to be harrying the flank of this guy. So yeah, that's the end of Ogre's turn 1.
Okay, it's the end of Empire turn 2. I got a little bit aggressive, probably to my cost. So I charged the Knights into Stonehorn, reasoning it might be a good idea. Probably not though. Okay, and the steam tank generated 3 steam points and charged into the Saber Tusk, because it didn't really have much choice otherwise. And that was it for that. Movement wise, just moved the archers up, moved the Pistoliers around behind the man-eaters, and these guys just moved back a couple of inches, just buy me a little bit more time. And then the magic phase, got I think 9 dice. Managed to cast Flesh to Stone and Earthblood on this unit, and then side dispelled my 5-up ward and rerolls to wound for these guys. Then in the shooting phase, the Helblaster managed to do 2 wounds to a Mournfang. The archers did nothing. This cannon misfired, can't shoot this turn or next turn. This one failed to wound, even though on the first guy, so he did nothing. The Pistoliers shot into the back of the man-eaters, failed to wound. And then in close combat, the steam tank did 5 wounds to the Saber Tusk, killed him, which actually would have caused a panic test on the Mournfang, thinking about it.
That's very
You might see him fail a break test once. No, he passed it. Okay, and the Knights charged in. Unfortunately, I failed my fear test, so I was hitting on 5s with rerolls. Got a fair few hits, I think 5, but only managed to do 2 wounds to him. The Warrior Priest whiffed. Then he attacked back and managed to kill 2 Knights. I won the combat. So he passed his leadership, 7 with a reroll. So.
Ooh, I just thought it can no longer be frenzy baited.
Oh yeah, it's not frenzy now.
Yes.
So yeah, so I've helped him out there. So yeah, so that's the end of Empire turn 2. So it's a pretty eventful game already.
Okay, it's the end of Ogre's turn 3, and yeah, quite a bit happened this turn. It's pretty good. The Mournfang charged the Helblaster volley gun, and then a ridiculously filthy display of luck. Ollie rolled 26 shots, and basically got 6 wounds, which was basically it was enough to leave 1 Mournfang remaining with 1 wound. So yeah, he's pretty buggered. But he he did rampage through the Helblaster, getting revenge. So that'll be destined to be some kind of custom lead belcher. And yeah, then he overran off the board. In the magic phase, we got pretty much the same amount of dice again. However, I tried to cast. Oh, sorry, I'll finish. Charges were basically the man-eaters charging into the knights to back up the Stonehorn, and then the guts just moved forward. Magic phase now. I tried to cast Bull Gorger to give him +1 strength. Ollie dispelled it, and then I managed to get a blanket Troll Guts on everyone else. Yeah, that was pretty good. Like I said over there, I managed to wipe out the Helblaster and overrun off the board. So he's, well, relatively safe for a turn at least. So yeah, the things are going reasonably well. Knights are going down. Unfortunately, stubborn with the Crown of Command, so I wasn't able to finish them off. So yeah, I might be looking at a bit of a tasty charge in the flank next turn. So yeah, or actually maybe the rear, even worse. So
no, I think it's still the flank.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do like the angle.
Oh yes, yeah, it's definitely flank. Okay, so it will be on to Empire turn 4.
Okay, it's the end of Empire turn 4. Charge-wise, there was nothing. Compulsory move, the steam tank moved up to here. No missiles, thankfully. And then these guys just moved around to kind of deal with that, get ready for the ogre charge. Pistoliers moved up behind the Iron Guts, and that was pretty much it. So the magic phase, I managed to cast Flesh to Stone on these guys. Side dispelled Earthblood on these guys. He also dispelled my 5-up ward save on these guys. But I did manage to get off the rerolls to wound from the Archlector. Then in the shooting phase, I fired my cannon into his Iron Guts, proving that they weren't really Iron Guts, because 2 of them took one in the gut and died, even with Troll Guts up. And luckily the 3rd one passed his Troll Gut save, so he got away with it. But then the steam tank then proved that they were Iron Guts.
Iron-head at least.
Yeah, fired his cannon and bounced off the first guy's head. So yeah, so that didn't go wrong. He actually failed to wound, so he didn't even have to make a regen save. This cannon still couldn't fire. The Pistoliers got 5 hits out of 6. Got 5 wounds, and then bypassed all his 5-up, his 4-up regen saves. So, and that was pretty much it. And then in close combat, needless to say, the warrior priest and the 2 knights got slaughtered, and well, they never stood a chance. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for the end of Empire turn 4. Heading into Ogre's turn 4 now.
Right, it's the end of Ogre's turn 4. It's I'll just say it's a good job that you only get a brief summary of the action and not a full-on blow-by-blow encounter. Otherwise, you probably would have had to put up with a lot of moaning from me. So, well, as it happens, you'll probably put up with a little bit even here. So, basically, I had to charge to win some game. So I declared lots of elite charges and hoping to spank things and generally kill them up. So the guts and the man-eaters were going to charge the big unit halberdiers. Alas, even with swift stride, they managed 1 inch less than needed and jutted out, which was great. And then the guts made it in on their own. Unsupported, and then the Stonehorn charged the remaining Pistoliers. Basically, it fluffed by 1. Its ability, well, it fluffed by quite a bit actually. Its ability to catch Pistoliers, as I rolled a measly 10. Yeah, like I say, they rolled 1 inch less, wasn't enough. So yeah, it was a bit of a catastrophic phase. The magic phase, I failed. I just was pretty pathetic. I failed to cast blanket troll guts, which I really badly needed. Yeah, it took its toll, as you can see, because in the close combat I did beat the Halberdiers. However, they did make quite a mess of me. They killed 4 ogres, mainly due to the reroll to wound buff. But yeah, I challenged his Arch Lector to close combat with the BSB, who wisely slunk to the back. And then I turned back and killed 15 guys in total. I won the combat, but he was steadfast. So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't really manage to get anywhere. I really needed the hitting power of the man eaters as well to whip through that unit. So as it happens, unfortunately, they are locked in and looking at a bit of a nasty counter charge. So yeah, it's now on to Empire turn 5.
Okay, it's the end of Empire turn 5, and things were definitely looking up. I charged the great swords into the flank of the Iron Guts. The steam tank got into the side of the man eaters. The pistoliers rallied, got in the face of the Stonehorn, and that's pretty much it. The archers just stayed there. They reformed. Then in the magic phase, I managed to get off the rerolls to wound on these guys. Also managed to get off Earthblood, so give them a 4-up regen. And so I dispelled the the flesh to stone on these guys. So then in the shooting phase, both my cannons fired at his Iron Blaster, and both rolled double 2s, so actually failed to reach it. I actually thinking about it, also the magic phase, I attempted to cast the Storm ability it has. I can't remember what it's called, Storm of Shemtek or something. And cast it at the Iron Blaster as well, just for the sake of it, because I had a few excess dice to the magic phase. But it just rained on it, which has probably made it so rusty it definitely won't be firing the next game. So that was it. And then in close combat, Steam Tank went into these guys, didn't roll very well for his impact hits, but managed to do 4 wounds. Sign Return managed to do 1 wound to me. I won the combat, but he was stubborn and passed, so combat continues. And then in this combat, my BSB and we managed to put 2 wounds onto his BSB, do a wound to his Slaughtermaster, and killed Iron Gut and put a wound on the Bellower with the other attacks. Then he in return killed, I think, 4 Halberdiers, and that was it. So I actually won the combat, but he was stubborn 9 with a reroll, so he's fine for now. Yeah, but it's looking pretty good for me, to be honest. We're going to go into size turn 5, but he's not holding much hope, which is understandable. But yeah, so we'll have to see what happens. So we're heading to Ogres turn 5.
Okay, it's the end of Ogres turn 5, and it is the unfortunate end of a very pathetic turn. On the plus side, my Stonehorn got an earth-shattering charge on his Pistoliers, who stood and shoot, put a wound on him. I got the full 9 hits, butchered them in an orgy of destruction. Great. That was 2 Pistoliers. Then the magic phase is basically a write-off. My magic phases have been awful, but I'll get to that later. The Steam Tank versus the Man-Eaters. Did 3 wounds, but Ollie saved them all, and then basically nothing in. I just lost the entire unit for nothing in return. So yeah, it was just pretty much pathetic end to a bit of a pathetic game on my part, really. I I've basically called it a draw there, well, called it a day there. It's just,
yeah, certainly not a draw.
yeah, it was just ridiculous. Very, very, very terrible luck. I mean, this, yeah, well, I'll get to that later. But this, this, yeah. So basically, that's the end. So yeah, a big win for Ollie. So yeah, we'll get on and talking about how things went. So I'll speak to you in a bit.
Okay, so it's the end of the game, and it certainly seems to be an Empire victory. I'm just going to do my lamentation first, because I suspect Si's going to be quite a long one. He's got to make peace with quite a few people. Right, so on the whole, I think the army went pretty well. So quite happy with what I chose. So I'm just going to sort of run you through my units and how I felt they did. So first up with the knights. Well, I got the knights killed through stupidity, really. Then I failed a fear test, and then they just got eaten by man-eaters, which is quite big. So I can't really judge that. But the Crown of Command in there was lovely, because it did hold them up for a turn, which kind of delayed them a bit. So I look on the bright side with that. But yeah, they died because I was stupid, so that's fair enough. I really like the steel standard on them though, because the initial charge I did actually roll 2 1s and got to re-roll them, which was lovely. And obviously ignore barding as well, so that's good. I like that unit, just unfortunate in this game. The steam tank was awesome, did a fair bit. It killed a saber tusk, and then held these up for like 2 turns. So excellent, and even shot its cannon I think, and killed something, or wounded something. But yeah, those are good. In fact, I don't think it did wound something. But the archers didn't really do a lot. They were basically there just to babysit the tank and shoot at the saber tusk and try to redirect it off the board. So that was their job, and just throw them in the way of stuff as redirectors should they need to. Both the cannons did really well, although they both misfired during the game. Between them, they did account for 7 iron guts, which was excellent. The Hurricane was brilliant. Its balance spell was pretty useless. Probably won't use that again. But giving these guys +1 hit was invaluable, so that was excellent. The Helblaster was amazing. Getting 26 shots was just amazing. I love that. What else? What else died? The Pistoliers were good. They were really irritating. Got a fair few shots. Great Swords didn't do a lot, but they were just nice to have. I think I prefer them in a horde formation, to be honest, but I just didn't have the models. Actually, proxied about 8 of these guys as swordsmen, so I didn't have enough. But this is the real star for me. These are the guys that really pulled their weight. They absolutely diced up that unit, and considering how low quality these guys are, I think they're like 6 or 7 points each, versus an Ogre Gutstar, with all the buffs from the Hurricanum, the Hatred, the rerolls to wound, the regen, plus toughness they had at some point. They're just nasty. They grind anything. Strength 4 base and rerollings to wound is just amazing. They're basically like hardcore plague monks for every turn, as long as you get the buffs off. So certainly glad to have the Arc Collector as a general, just because he's a bit more survivable than a normal warrior priest with extra wound. He also has a +1 leadership, so that's my reasoning for taking him. And he works out about 35 points more expensive than the warrior priest anyway. Life Wizard was good. So I wonder if I just should have taken Shadow, like I've been doing, just because it's more, it's reducing his strength and stuff. But Law of Life certainly worked out for me. I did initially roll Dwellers Below for my spells, but the reason that I didn't really want to just kill size ogres with Dwellers Below, I wanted to take the buff spells so I could grind them out instead. Not a big fan of like those big bomb spells really, especially the silly ones that just kill things outright. So I wanted to be sporting with that, so I'm glad I didn't take it, because it turns out that the regen one that I swapped it for was much better, so certainly pulled its weight. So yeah, so I'm really happy with the army. I think it performed really well. The shooting phase, there was lots going on. The magic phase, there was always lots going on. I rolled really well for magic during this game. I think I never rolled below 7. And plus the extra dice from here and the extra channels. So there's always something going on in the magic phase, and always had something useful to cast, which was really nice. It's probably the benefit of having 2 warrior priests, level 4 wizard, and random balance spell should I need it. Yeah, so it's just super reliable. Doesn't really do anything particularly clever. Just makes use of every phase. You know, there's close combat going on, shooting going on, magic going on. You know, all the same happening, which I think is what you need to do with Empire. Really, you just need to make use of everything, because it is quite a general army. It doesn't specialise in anything, just does a bit of everything. So as long as you're doing a bit of everything, can't go wrong. But yeah, man and match are the Halberdiers and their collective support units in there, the Lecter and the Wizard, and the Hurricane and Buckingham were just excellent. So really happy with the list. I think Sai suffered with a fair bit of bad luck, but mainly the charge here is what really did him. But as we said, if he hadn't made that, he probably would have crushed these guys no problem, just by the sheer amount of attacks. So that one charge pretty much swung the game, could have swung the game potentially. Well, I won't go into his cannon because I'm sure he's got a few things to say about that cannon. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the game. I threw away the knights, which was a bit stupid. But other than that, I can't really fault what went on. I'm pretty happy with my decisions on that. Particularly that steam tank going in there really saved my arse, because that could have led to these guys charging into them, and that would have been nasty. So, yeah, so pretty happy. I'll hand you over to Si now for a lamentation and probably a good 8 months of counselling.
Yeah, that was an annoying and actually very stressful game. I don't mind losing to great generalship. It's not a problem. What I do mind losing to is my own bad luck. I mean, there's just too much to catalogue that went on. Really, you need someone just to come and sit here and just watch what I roll, because I mean, there's times when I've just gone in and even just went off just to throw a bone and say, for example, at the end of the combat with the Halberdiers, the Swordmasters, and the Gutstar, you know, his BSB, you know, I should have at least got some wounds on him. I mean, he might have been well decked out for survival, I don't know, but probably was, but he never ever needed to even use that, because in 8 attacks I hit him 3 times and I failed to wound him all 3 times. The Wizard, obviously my guy, my magic phases were absolutely abysmal. I think pretty much every magic phase I rolled a 1 and another number, which coupled with his channels basically meant that I had pretty much no chance of really getting what I needed. Bizarrely, which I took the same kind of spells that I had against his Chaos, and they were mostly ineffective. Bullgorger is pretty pointless for the majority of the army because I'm wounding on 2s anyway. Might have made a difference on the Man-Eaters against the Steam Tank, I don't know, but Brain Gobbler was pretty much useless with the Arch Lecter and his leadership bubble, plus a captain with Hold the Line and a BSB. I mean, you know, there's just nothing going there. What else? This bloody cannon was the absolute bane of my existence. It was. I mean, it's now got to the stage where Ollie can plan his battle strategies based upon my bad luck with his cannon, and it's horrible because, you know, everyone else, you know, if I put 2 of these in a game, Ollie probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. Anyone else would be calling me a beardy bastard, but, you know, it's bad because, you know, it also doesn't give you the confidence to ever want to try and use anything like that, because you don't see a point in doing it. It was like we had a discussion earlier on in the game, the Magic phase, where Ollie had pretty much the same dice as me and I had nothing to cast but Troll Guts. And he says, well, why don't you throw just 6 dice and hope to get a miscast? And I had to remind him to go and read our battle reports, where my first turn tends to end rather stickily with miscasts. So, yeah, it's bad when that happens, because I can see from Ollie's point of view, he doesn't get it, but unfortunately I'm glad. I don't.
I just like to believe that things can change.
Yeah, I'm
The eternal optimist.
I'm kind of glad that he doesn't quite understand how it feels, because.
I understand how it feels because I hear about it every.
But you don't feel it. You don't feel your arse being parted by probability. It's bad. But yeah, it's that was a real, that I must say, that's probably one of the least enjoyable games of Warhammer I've had in a long time. Unfortunately, really? that was I mean, that was just, it shouldn't have been, because other than because I think the first couple of turns were great. You know, we had there was bad luck on both sides. You know, my Mornfang got smacked up, but you know, Ollie's Knights got smacked up. So you know, it sort of swings and roundabouts. That misfired. So you know, it was up until that point, it was fine. You know, but it's then when it's just like the failing the charge. All right, that's annoying, and I knew that had lost me the game. But you know, killing a wizard. Just killing the wizard or the BSB, you know, or proper reducing that unit down to next to nothing, that would have been great. You know, you can handle that. That makes you feel like you've done anything. But when you look at an army and think, all I've actually killed, or I jamly killed some knights and some frigging pistoliers, you know, that's pathetic. And unfortunately, that was a bit of a bad game for me, but. You know, that's not Ollie's fault. It's bloody Luck's fault. So I've pissed in Lady Luck's pool at some point in my life, and she ain't happy with me. I don't know what goes on there, because I mean, yeah, that was pretty miserable. That's the worst luck I've had in a long time. I mean, that was pretty damn bad.
Oh, you've had much worse than that.
Oh, I have, but that's the worst luck I've had in quite a while. I mean, the sort of last 4 or 5 games.
It's worse luck this year, to be fair.
Yeah, and when you consider we're almost a quarter of the way through the year, though, that's pretty harsh.
Well, no, that's a good thing, sure. The worst luck you've had in 2 months.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. It's bad though when. I lose a game because of just well, it's not so much the losing. I don't mind losing. I just didn't do anything in the game. There was like nothing. There was no pleasure to be gleaned from the game, because like you couldn't even gank a wizard or kill a BSB or shoot the steam tank or whatever. It's just sort of little things like that kind of cheer you up, and you don't think it's been such a bad game. But yeah, when you get none of that, and you just army is ruined for now. It's hard, man. It's hard. But you know, we have to rebuild. We have to try and get over these things and
see. Demons next week.
Yeah, well, you know, well, see how much money I make off of eBay.
Well, it's proxy. I've got a load of cool marauders that need use.
Well, yeah, well, I need the book first, but you know, I should be able to order that soon enough. And yes, so yeah, we'll have to see what next week brings. If I can get hold of the Chaos Demons book, then I'll see what it brings. Otherwise, I haven't got my Skaven book because it's mysteriously disappeared. I have a suspicion Ollie burnt it while reading the magic item section in a fit of disgust.
Toilet paper is expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, my Skaven army book has melted into the ether, unfortunately. It's probably buried in the pit, otherwise known as my bedroom. That's where probably not even the most rancid Skaven would wish to nest. So might end up having to be Skaven, because that was pretty bad loss. Skaven versus Empire should be quite funny though.
Yeah. One Doom Rocket and you win.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what next week brings. So it'll either be chaos or it might be Skaven or it might be ogres.
Yeah.
If I haven't melted them all down and turned them into some.
I think you might be suffering an ogre burnout at the moment. You've been playing them a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, I must admit I do like playing them, but because they have all the kind of the elements that I like of face smash, except when they don't face smash. So yes, we shall have to see how I feel next week. But yeah, I think man of the match probably actually got to be this guy. He basically killed the knights, worked them over good. Muppet of the match is the cannon, who did nothing, absolutely nothing. So yeah, maybe time to. I quite like that. You see, I like the man eaters. I don't know whether I like them with their ability to shoot.
I think the pistols are a waste of points, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it because I didn't use them this turn.
80 points for maybe a chance to shoot, but
yeah, well, more. It's like in that year it's 96 points, I think.
What, for the pistols?
Yeah, because they're 12.
Really?
12 apiece. Yeah.
No way.
So yeah, you know, I think I have to sort of have a think about that because you know I could drop that off of the man eaters, and I could get like an iron blaster, well almost an iron blaster. If I drop that and two them, that's another bloody iron blaster.
I honestly think that 2 iron blasters are more reliable.
Yes.
Slightly reliable.
Yeah.
You know, because you're counting on that 1 iron blaster to do a lot, and it isn't the most reliable thing in the first place.
No. So yeah, I shall have to have a bit of a think. So yeah, interesting game, although slightly disappointing for me, but a good win for Ollie. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see you next week.